Hello, friends, and welcome back to Resetting the Standard, the place where we challenge the modern narratives and remind women that loving your men does not make you weak, it makes you both stronger. I'm your host, Vallery, and today we are talking about something that I know many women have dealt with or are currently dealing with living in survival mode. And I want to talk about how not only is it not healthy for you, of course, but I also want to talk about how it's not healthy for your relationship. That constant feeling of you have to hold it all together. You're the only one that can. If you let it go, everything's going to crumble. Until at some point, you're too tired to even enjoy the life you've built. Of course, as always, before we get too far, let's talk about our sponsor, the Patriot Box. This is your all around everything you need, American made, all natural products that actually care about your health. From personal care items like makeup, skincare, hair care, to cleaning products like laundry, dish soap, bleach replacements, and so much more. Even protein shakes and protein snacks, and even your daily vitamins. It's everything you need and nothing you don't. Shipped right to your door, made here in America. I love the Patriot Box, not only because it supports the show, but also because it does bring money back to America, brings jobs back to America, and is just all around convenient and amazing. Connect with me for more information with the link in the description. I'd love to talk to you and help you get started today. Ladies, let's be honest. Most of us are exhausted, especially if you have children. Not physically necessarily, but emotionally. Because most of us are living in survival mode anymore. So much so that it's actually starting to make you feel really uncomfortable. You've been taught to be strong, you don't need a man, be a boss babe, you can do it, you can do everything, independence over submission, right? We've been conditioned for so many years to act like men that we forgot that our femininity is our strength. We've been taught that our strength is doing everything ourselves and never asking for help, and that asking for help makes us seem weak. We have gotten to a point where it's you're the cleaner, the chauffeur, the chef, the provider, the protector, the you've taken on so many roles, you don't even know who the heck you are anymore. You're in so much fear that if you let go of control, your entire life will fall apart. And that's absolutely not the case. Here's the truth. You can be soft or in survival mode. You cannot survive at both. And the longer you try, the more things are going to start to feel like they're falling apart. You can't be nurturing and loving when you're constantly on edge. It will turn you angry and bitter. Although it'll take time, eventually it'll create a barrier in your relationship. And I don't have children, but I would speculate to say that it would create a barrier between you and your kids. It would make it really hard to be fully present and nurturing to your children because you're so busy trying to juggle everything else in life. Because you stop connecting. You can't connect and try and hold everything up over here. Like it just doesn't work. At some point, you'll just be a person going through the motions and not really feeling anything. I know this personally too. Like I said, not with kids, but I did do it for years. I was always trying to handle everything, control everything, be the one who was fixing all the problems, right? I didn't have to be. I always felt like I was trying to be 10 steps ahead of everything for just in case. Well, what if this happens or what if this happens? And I was so busy looking at the what ifs that I forgot that we built a life that we really wanted to enjoy together. And I realized that I wasn't even giving him any space to be helpful in my life because I thought him helping me meant I was weak. I forgot that I got into this relationship to have a partner in life, not somebody I was just dragging along in my just in case scenarios. I was honestly pushing him away. It wasn't there was no connection there. It was just going through the motions, and it was probably a good few years before I figured it out that everything in our life was just it was kinda honestly, if I can that's the only way I can explain it. There wasn't a lot of fun, there wasn't a lot of enjoying ourselves. We definitely weren't intimate because I was too busy worried about, well, what if something falls apart? Well, what if? That's all it was. Because nothing once I was able to let go of that control, the amount of fun I was able to have in our day-to-day life, not fun as in, like, go enjoy the world fun, granted, yes, we got to do that, but I mean just sitting around laughing and having a good time with each other, giggling over me making dinner, laughing over stupid jokes, whatever it is. I didn't have any mental space for that because I was too busy trying to control every single aspect of our life. What I came to realize is that trust and control cannot live in the same house. One's gotta go. And for me, it was control because I would rather have love and trust in my relationship than full control. As much of a control freak as I am, honestly, letting go of it helped significantly. There was one day that I remember I was running around. It was like a it wasn't a really stressful month. Nothing really happened, but it was a lot happened in that month. But I wasn't able to just breathe when that month was over. And I remember Sean looking at me and saying, "Hey, just come sit down and enjoy our life." Like, different verbiage, of course, but that's basically what he said. "Just come chill. Like, enjoy the life that we've built. Enjoy the month that we got through." I remember having to have an entire pep talk with myself that everything's not gonna fall apart if I just get to enjoy my life for even 5 minutes, 5 hours, whatever it is, a vacation, a weekend, whatever. There is a time and a place to be gung ho focused wife, take care of the world. And then there's also a time and a place for you to let go and enjoy that life that you created. I put together a couple of points to give you kind of a realization of when you are actually in survival mode. When you rest, you feel guilty. You double check everything, even if somebody else does it, including your husband. You have a backup plan for his backup plan. You don't trust him to get through a scenario. And you're constantly praying for peace, but you never stop moving long enough to actually enjoy peace. When you fall into trust and letting go of that control, here are a couple things that I've noticed. You can let him lead, and even if he does it differently than you would, it doesn't matter as long as it gets done, right? There's what's that saying? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Just because he doesn't do it your way does not mean it's not going to get done. It'll get done, just slightly differently. You start to breathe before you start to correct him because you trust him, because you're okay with not having everything exactly the way you would want it. You start to breathe before you correct him, realizing that you can because you trust him, because the life you built together, his opinions and your opinions together. And you let yourself not only receive help, but ask for help without feeling guilty. Getting help is not because you failed. It's because no one person can do everything alone. And also because he wants to help you, because he loves you. There's nothing wrong with that. Being strong in our femininity, I hate that word. Being strong in our feminine is not about sitting back and just letting everybody do everything. It's about doing things from a soft point of strength, knowing when to push forward and when to let things breathe. It's trusting that not everything needs consistent control in order for it to turn out correctly. Real strength isn't about doing it all. It's about knowing when to pause, recharge, let things balance out. Let him help when he needs to help or when you need the help. Your feminine reset starts when you stop controlling everything and start allowing peace in your partnership and calm back into your life. It's not about giving up control. It's about creating a balance because when you let go of survival mode, you stop living in a defensive state of mind and you start living in a partnership where he can help you and he can be the person that you fell in love with, be the person that created a life together with you. This is something that I struggle with on a regular basis because I'm an extremely controlling person. But I can tell you that the moment that I started really paying attention to this and trying to incorporate it into my life or unincorporate it into my life is when Sean and I really started to grow and do bigger things in our relationship. So, that being said, my challenge for you this week is to pick one area in your life that you know you're over controlling it and maybe let somebody else handle it or let somebody help you in that area. You can start small or you can start big. If it's a bill, you could start with something as simple as let your husband do nap time, let your husband do lunchtime, snack time. Let your husband cook dinner, take care of a bill here and there. Whatever it is that like some one thing that you can start to let go and move forward. And start small and then you can start growing on top of that, right? Give yourself a chance to breathe. And what I will also suggest for all the moms out there, if you are also in this, find a space where you can go either have dinner, coffee, margarita, whatever with a girlfriend. Get out of the house for an hour Stop stressing and learn to breathe and enjoy your life again. And if you can, put together a date night with your husband. Get out of the house with your husband and learn to talk and hang out with each other again. Because a lot of you don't even have time for that or haven't made time for that in quite a while. With that being said, that is all I have for today. If you like this episode, please like the episode. If you know somebody that maybe could utilize some of this information, please send it their way. If you're not already following the channel, please follow us. As always, all of my social media handles are below in my campsite bio, as well as my Facebook group where we talk about all of these things behind the scenes in a little more depth. I would love to have you there. Remember, peace does not mean you stop caring. It means you stopped carrying it alone. Until next time, keep resetting the standard.